So in this video, I want to share with you my 10 favorite perfume notes, and I will be mentioning 2 fragrances per note. Hi everyone, I'm Julima from Scented Moments channel, where I help you to discover the wonderful world of perfumery. So in this video, and I think it will be a long one, although I will do my best to not make this way too long, but I will mention 20 fragrances here in total. And these are some of the best fragrances in their category, featuring a specific note. Now, of course, you have hundreds and hundreds of alternatives out there for a specific note. And I mean, I'm not saying that these are the very best, but are some of the best out there. And I already have some videos that are dedicated to a specific note, like leather, tobacco, although I will not feature tobacco because I'm not very into tobacco lately, but I have tobacco, ambers, vanillas, I mean incense, you name it. So if you are searching for more alternatives in a specific note, feel free to check my videos out, but I will mention already some fantastic fragrances in a specific note, just to help you to discover some wonderful gems featuring just one specific note. So that being said, let's dive into these wonderful fragrances in a no specific order. So I will not be ranking these fragrances nor these notes. So to start with this video, let's go with Vetiver. And Vetiver, here I have Chanel Sycomore Eau de Parfum and Frederic Malle Vetiver Extraordinaire. These two are some of my favorite, my 2 favorite Vetiver fragrances as of now. I already talked about my favorite Vetiver fragrances, so feel free to check that video out if you have yet to. These 2 fragrances for me are the best Vetiver fragrances out there as of now, as of today. Maybe tomorrow I will change my opinion, but today these 2 are just to die for. So Sycomore, this was not love at first sniff, actually, because I always found that Lalique Encre Noire à l'Extrême would do the job. But as time went, now I really do love this. I came to appreciate Sycomore for what it is, and actually there are some differences. A few differences actually. This is a more nutty vetiver, and it's not as smoky nor balsamic as Encre Noire à l'Extrême, which is still fantastic, especially for the price. Actually, the old Encre Noire line is great for the price. I mean, if you are not willing to pay, I mean, hundreds of euros or dollars in Sycomore or Vetiver Extraordinaire, just go with the Lalique line and you will be just fine. But Sycomore, for me, I mean, the quality, the blend, everything in this perfume is brilliant. For me, it's my favorite Vetiver fragrance as of now. It has that nuttiness that I adore. It's still rooty, and it has that sparkly aldehydes. I mean, this is just an elegant, more masculine, gentlemanly scent. I absolutely love this fragrance. And then you have Vetiver Extraordinaire, which is a more common vetiver scent, meaning that this is more of your green, citrusy, grassy vetiver, but it's fantastic in its simplicity. It's a simple perfume, but the vetiver here, it's high quality. It smells of natural, comes across as a natural smelling vetiver perfume. Some say that this is overpriced. It's not my opinion. I think this is one of the best vetivers out there, and it's a Frederic Malle, so you have the quality, the blend in here. So again, starting with vetiver, 2 heavy hitters in my opinion. Sycomore from Chanel, from the Les Exclusives line, the Eau de Parfum, and this is Vetiver Extraordinaire by Frederic Malle. The next perfume note or accord that I absolutely love is Amber. Absolutely love ambers. Usually amber is represented by labdanum, And these two are just my favorite perfume notes, my favorite fragrances with this in this category, featuring amber. Wow, brilliant. So the first one is Rania J's Ambre Loup, and the other one is, of course, Ambra Aurea. I mean, no surprises here whatsoever. I absolutely love these two fragrances. These are right now my favorite amber fragrances. I love amber since day one. Actually, the perfume that introduced me to ambers was L'air du désert marocain by Andy Tower, which I'm not featuring, but I could feature easily because it's my third favorite vetiver. Then you not vetiver, amber. Then you have Le Lion, which is also a very labdanum centric, although it's in a different way. These two, talking about just these two, Ambra Aurea, it's for me still, since the day that I was introduced to this fragrance, to this day, still my favorite amber. And I already tried countless of amber fragrances, but this is still, and I have at least 10 amber fragrances, and this is still my favorite. Ambra Aurea, why? Because it's very sticky, gooey, it's very rich and thick and dense. And then you have the ambergris here also, which gives a salty, buttery quality to this gooey, sweet, rich amber. I mean, this is just beautiful. Then you have a bit of a smoky slash incensey feel. I mean, this fragrance is brilliant. It's really my favorite amber because of that. I mean, everything in this perfume is glorious. And then you have Ambre Loup, different, bit more animalic, more balsamic, also heavy and thick with also oud. This is intoxicating. Both of these are intoxicating. This one feels, again, I think this one is a bit more challenging because of the heavy balsams and the animalic nuance and the oud. Although the oud here is not very prominent, but you definitely sense this animalic resinous nuance with Tolu balsam and amber. Wow, it's a very unique perfume and also quite smoky. I mean, these two fragrances are some of the best amber fragrances out there. The next note that I absolutely love is patchouli, and I have quite a few patchouli fragrances, but I love these two fragrances, and these two patchouli fragrances are actually in the same realm, let's say. So the first one, again, Profumum Roma, this time is patchouli, and the other one is from the house of Reminiscence, and it's patchouli. And you can see by the color, I mean, that these will be very heavy, dark, dense, and in the same vein. So, and it's true. These two fragrances are that have that very earthy, chocolatey, cakey patchouli. The difference is that this feels more heavy and thick and rich. This one is a bit lighter, still heavy, but lighter when comparing with patchouli by Profumum Roma. In terms of quality, both are fantastic. The big difference also is that, I mean, this is a fraction of the price of patchouli from Profumum Roma. So if you are still discovering patchouli, if you want to dive into patchouli fragrances, go with this one. I mean, online discounters, you will pay 40 euros max, but I think this is a 100 ml eau de toilette, but great performance and very rich for an eau de toilette concentration fragrance. I mean, if you want a niche patchouli, and if you want a more rich and heavy and thick patchouli, go with this one. This is my favorite patchouli. I mean, honestly, I could feature just Profumum Roma when talking about specific notes, because Profumum Roma fragrances are very specific in a note, in one note. So you have fragrances that are featured just fig or fig leaves, which is Icnusa. You have gourmands with chocolate, you have aquatic, you have vanilla. I mean, you have lemon. So all fragrances, or the majority of the fragrances from Profumum Roma, are very focused in one note, and they do that to perfection. So I could easily feature just Profumum Roma fragrances, but I will not do that because, I mean, by now, if you are following this channel for a while, you know that I absolutely love that house. It's my favorite perfume house overall. So I will feature other fragrances from now on, but just to let you know that Profumum Roma, it's really fantastic. Actually, I will still mention one last Profumum Roma later in this video, and you will hope that you will still be here to watch that fragrance. So for Patchouly, again, these two are some of the best patchouli fragrances out there. Again, they are in that earthy, chocolatey, cakey, full patchouli. This one more resinous, has some myrrh in here, more resinous, more heavy, more thick, rich and dense. This one feels lighter, a bit more elegant, I would say, a bit more sophisticated, but either two are fantastic. So for patchouli, you have these two that are some of the best out there. Now let's talk about oud. I absolutely love oud fragrances. I have a video just talking about my favorite ouds, and I will feature some of my favorites. I think these two were definitely on my top 3. So the first one is from Ramon Monegal. This is Soul of Oud right here from the Don't Touch My Oud collection, and the other one is from the house of Ajmal, Mukhallat Shams. This one right here, brilliant perfume here. So these two are some of my favorite oud fragrances, in my opinion, some of the best out there. This one, it's definitely more expensive than Mukhallat Shams. This is 330-ish euros for 50 ml, and I think it's a 50 ml that you will get. I mean, 100 ml, if you will be able to get a bottle of 100 ml of Soul of Oud, I mean, it will be much more expensive. This is a 50 ml, although it doesn't look like a 50 ml, but this is a 50 ml, and it cost me 50 euros at Notino. We still have Notino here in Portugal, but I guess that if you are in the US or if you are in other country that doesn't have Notino, I think you can still find this in other online discounters. And again, quite affordable. In terms of quality, these two are fantastic. This is, I mean, the difference is that this is, oh, magical. So this is a more chocolatey, incensey, resinous oud, and it smells so natural. And it smells like pure chocolatey oud. I mean, brilliant. It's magical. And then you have this one. This is a bit more animalic, still high quality, natural smelling oud. I mean, Ajmal is a great house. I mean, it's a great discovery. I already made a couple of fantastic blind discoveries from this house, and I would love to discover more, actually. Man, this perfume is fantastic. Yeah, definitely a bit more animalic, a bit more spicy, but the oud, it's natural smelling oud. It's beautiful. It's really a beautiful perfume. So, and for a fraction of the price of solo oud, and if you want, I mean, if you will be searching in the niche market, if you want to explore ouds in a niche market, you will see that the prices are very hefty, and from the most part you will not get real oud. Here, I don't know if this has real oud or not, but definitely comes across as natural, just for 50 euros. So I mean, go with this one first. And if you are able to explore Ramon Monegal from the Don't Touch My Oud collection, check out this one, Soul of Oud and Mukhallat Shams by Ajmal. Beautiful ouds right here. Now let's talk about rose. Absolutely love rose perfumes. Actually, I have 2 rose fragrances on my wish list. And I think I will record a video on my fragrance wish list. It's been a while since I did one. But these 2 are right now some of my favorite rose fragrances. So the first one is from the house of Andy Tower, and it is Fille une Rose de Kandahar. And the other one is from the house of Heeley and it is Rose Aria. What a brilliant discovery this was actually. I purchased this one very recently, like a couple of months ago. Oh, wow, beautiful fragrance. This is very unique. So oh man, this is so good. This is like this watery rose petals, but like the most realistic rose petals floating in water. It's beautiful. And then you have here a slightly sweet tobacco leaves and also musk, a very heavy musk. This fragrance has a lot of facets. The opening is this blast of this silky rose petals on water. Then you have this slightly sweet tobacco leaves, and then you have musk, a very intense musk actually, like animalic musk. It's a brilliant perfume. I really love this fragrance. Very sensual, very sexy in my opinion. And the rose here, the rose accord, it's done to perfection actually. Very unique rose scent, just like this one is. This is also rose and tobacco, but this is more in the sweeter side. It's brilliant. Here you have here more cinnamon, more spices that you don't have in Rose Aria. But the rose here, it's also very soft and smooth and silky. And then you have the vanilla, the cinnamon, the tobacco leaves. This is brilliant. This is a brilliant perfume. One of the best rose fragrances that I ever smelled. It's Rose de Kandahar, and then Rose Aria. It's one of the best discoveries of the year from the house of Heeley. I mean, these two fragrances are brilliant. Of course, you also have Portrait of a Lady, which is a classic. Lyric Man. I mean, you have so many rose fragrances out there, but I think these two definitely deserve some attention. Vie en Rose de Kandahar by Andy Tower and Rose Aria by James Heeley. Next, let's talk about Iris. I absolutely love Iris. It's one of my all-time favorite perfume notes. I already mentioned, I already have a video, uploaded a video just talking about Iris fragrances. These two are definitely some of my favorite Iris fragrances right now. I mean, one is a classic already. It's designer and it's from the house of Dior Homme. The original, not that Dior Homme 2020. This is the true Dior Homme, and this is where my passion for Iris started. Dior Homme, released in 2005, created by Olivier Polge. I mean, this is the 2011 version, the reformulation made by François Desmachis. I never smelled the original formulation created by Olivier Polge, but this one from it's a masterpiece. This Iris, cacao, musky, a bit vanillic, woody fragrance, it's to die for. This makeup-y Iris is magical. It's a classic for me already. And for me, this is a groundbreaking fragrance. Wow. This created a trend. And now you see a lot of designer fragrances with this scent DNA. You see Valentino with Valentino Uomo Intense. You see now Givenchy very hard in this scent DNA with the Gentleman line, the new Gentleman line. You have also Loewe 001 Man Eau de Parfum, a bit different, not sweet as this one, but it goes in that realm, high quality scent nonetheless. So you have now quite a few designer fragrances that are heavily inspired by this fragrance. And then you have this beautiful perfume from the house of Masque Milano, La Tessa. La Tessa is brilliant. I mean, I could have mentioned Iris Malika, Damacupa by Baruti, which is also brilliant, but I wanted to feature just these two. La Tessa is different from Dior Homme. So this is more of a clean iris. This is more, oh, wow. One of the most natural smelling iris, or oris, the oris root. The oris is the root of the iris. And it has this, it's very sparkly and buttery and so elegant, so chic. It's just so good. It's that good. Great performance, created by Luca Maffei. And then you have the Dior Homme. It's a staple. I mean, Dior Homme, it would, if I would have a signature scent, it would be Dior Homme. I would love to, that my skin chemistry would smell like Dior Homme. It's that how much I love this perfume and this line overall. I love Dior Homme Parfum, Dior Homme Intense. Just a brilliant line in terms of iris. And then you have La Tessa, which is more elegant, a bit more upscale, and high quality, I must say. A different take on iris, again, more clean, more sparkly, more sophisticated, but still these two, Dior Homme, La Tessa, and you have many more. Feel free to check out my video on iris fragrances. Now let's talk about Sandalwood. Absolutely love Sandalwood, and I already have, if I'm not mistaken, I think I have, and I uploaded, I think it was already a couple of years ago, my favorite Sandalwood fragrances, and these two were featured in that video, definitely. And the first fragrance that introduced me to Sandalwood, it's to this day one of my all-time favorites, definitely in my top 3. From the house of Tom Ford, Santal Blush. And then you have a later discovery from the house of Lorenzo Villoresi, Sandalo. Oh man, Sandalo was also a brilliant discovery, like a few years ago also. These two fragrances are some of the best sandalwoods out there. Nowadays, you will not get, or you will not find so easily the clear bottle of Santal Blush. Now it's in there. I think I don't have here another private blend, but this nowadays comes in the dark brown bottle, like the regular line is. But in terms of smell, I already had the opportunity to smell the, let's say, the new version. I don't detect major differences, to be honest. This one for me smells of some of the most natural smelling sandalwood. It's brilliant. It's a very creamy, realistic, bit floral sandalwood, like Mysore sandalwood. I never smelled true pure Mysore sandalwood, but from what I already read, from what I already watch in YouTube, from, I mean, true passionate sandalwood freaks like I am, they say that Mysore, it's a more creamy, gives a creamy, woody edge to sandalwood. So I would say that this is towards more Mysore sandalwood, because then you have the Australian sandalwood, which is a dry, spicy sandalwood. This is definitely creamy. I mean, Tom Ford, when this was released, was saying, I mean, the brand was saying that this had some drops of pure Mysore sandalwood. I don't know if that's true or not, but what I can say is that this comes across as a natural, creamy sandalwood. It's brilliant. It's so elegant and so addicting, so sensual, also quite musky. Brilliant perfume. And then you have Sandalo by Lorenzo Villoresi, which, I mean, it's more affordable than the current pricing of the Tom Ford private blend, especially if you purchase this in the online discounters. This is a 100 ml fragrance, and it's in the same vein. It goes in the same vein, but not as creamy, a bit more dry and a bit more floral, but it's still creamy. The creaminess is still there, not as much as Santal Blush, but it comes across as a natural smelling sandalwood also. And it's, again, so elegant. Sandalwood for me, it's a very relaxing, and at the same time very sexy, very sensual note. That's why I absolutely love Sandalwood. Then you have, of course, Hamdao, which is also a reference from Diptyque Eau de Parfum. I have it, love it. It's more of a dry, spicy sandalwood. Santal by Profumum Roma, also it's in my top 3. So my top 3 is Lorenzo Villoresi Sandalo, Santal Blush, and Santalum by Profumum Roma, which is a very dry and very spicy sandalwood. So you have quite a few sandalwood fragrances out there. I mean, Egoist by Chanel, it's also a brilliant sandalwood scent. So, I mean, you have a lot of brilliant sandalwood fragrances out there. These two just happen to be some of my all-time favorites. Santal Blush and Sandalo by Lorenzo Villoresi. Next perfume note is leather. And these two are really some of the best leather fragrances out there. So this one, it's from the house of Hermès, from the Hermès line, Cuir d'Ange. And the other one is Cuir by Mona Diorio. These two are brilliant and are very unique leather fragrances. So I don't have Tuscan leather. I have Classassi La Yukuam, which is, I mean, very similar, and in terms of quality, actually, it's there, it's up there. But well, I think these two are more unique, and I'm leaning now to this moment. I'm leaning more towards these two leather fragrances and Pure Distance M, which is sadly discontinued. I say that discontinued because the new M has nothing to do with the original formulation. It was created, actually, the new version of M was created by Antoine Lee, but it has nothing to do with that spicy, elegant, dark, smoky leather. No, it's more of a woody fragrance with some leathery touches. I think it lost its magic, in my opinion. But so that's why I'm just featuring these two. This is, to this day, my favorite leather, Cuir d'Ange. It's really the most unique leather scent. It's animalic, at least for me. It's slightly, I mean, not overly animalic, just a bit. A very terry, floral, salty leather, like brown leather. It's a brilliant fragrance there. I really advise you to check this leather out. I mean, it's really one of the best out there. And then you have Cuir by Mona Diorio, which is a more woody, campfirey, dry leather, dark leather. I think this is a bit more challenging, in my opinion, but equally fantastic. Brilliant. But yeah, it has that smoky, campfirey feel I absolutely love. And then you have this dark leather accord, just fantastic. These two are really one of the best leathers out there. I mean, Dior Homme Parfum, it's one of my favorite perfumes overall, and it has a fantastic leather accord. And I have some others. I mean, so many wonderful leather fragrances. Actually, again, I have a video just talking about leather perfume, so feel free to check that video out. So the next note is lavender. Absolutely love lavender, especially this year. This year, I think I really discovered lavender, lavender perfumes and lavender as a note, and I absolutely love to spray myself with a lavender fragrance before going to sleep, because it has that feeling, that calming feeling. And so, for reference, these are two of my favorite lavenders, some of the best lavenders in my opinion. One is, again, Tom Ford, but this time Beau de Jour from the Signature line, and the other one is Rania J Lavande 44. Lavande 44 is a pure lavender scent, one of the most natural smelling lavenders out there. Just brilliant. I mean, brilliant. Green, but again, the lavender, it's just so authentic. So authentic. And then you have Beau de Jour, which has also a fantastic lavender note in here with Patchouly. A lot of people compare this with Davidoff Zino, which I have, love, different in my opinion. I can see the comparisons because of the Patchouly more, but this one feels more bright and more centric in lavender, while the Zino, it's more Patchouly heavy. But this lavender is also fantastic. This is, in my opinion, in the mainstream designer side of things, this is the best lavender that you can get nowadays. Very elegant, signature scent worthy. Beau de Jour by Tom Ford. If you want a niche alternative, Rania J Lavande 44. The next perfume note is incense. Absolutely love incense, and incense, just like lavender, gives me a very calming feel, more of an introspective feel, but still absolutely love incense fragrances. And these two are my favorite incense fragrances. I consider these to be the best incense fragrances out there as of now, and I already uploaded, I think it was a couple of years ago already, my favorite incense fragrances, so feel free to check that video out. These two fragrances are one from the house of Profumum Roma, Olibanum, and the other from house again from Heeley Eau Sacree. These two are the best, in my opinion, of course, the best incense that you can buy. Olibanum smells like a pure frankincense. Hands down, it's pure frankincense in here. Yeah, it's all that you will get. It's frankincense. Very resinous, smoky perfume. It's magical. It's well, the quality of this fragrance is fantastic. You really need to try for yourself. And then the other one, it's from Heeley Eau Sacree, which is frankincense being burned at the church. It's how it smells. Wow. Both natural smelling fragrances here. Realistic frankincense fragrances. One is more focused in the note, which is Olibanum from Profumum Roma, and Eau Sacree, it's an image of frankincense being burned at the church. Brilliant fragrances. Again, if you want an incense fragrance, I think one or the other you'll be just fine. This one is slightly more affordable than Profumum Roma. I think this one goes for 190 euros nowadays, at least retail, and Olibanum is 225 if I'm not mistaken. Again, for me, the best frankincense out there. And I just realized it's not just 10 notes, it's 11. Just now I realized that I chose 11, not just 10. And of course I needed to feature this note that I absolutely love. I love gourmand, so of course I love vanilla fragrances. And vanilla is such a common note. I mean, a lot of perfumes have vanilla, but it's very hard to do a perfect, or at least a fantastic vanilla scent. But I have two fragrances here, both niche, that are some of the best in my opinion. One is definitely the best, again in my opinion, of course. It's from the house of Indult Toyota, and this was created by Francis Courtin, which is the in-house perfumeur of Christian Dior nowadays. And the other is from the house of Carneo Barcelona, and it is Elborn. So this one is a 50 ml, 100 ml. This is more expensive than Elborn. This one is almost, if not already, 200 euros. And this is in the 150 euro mark. So, I mean, this one, I think it will pay off more. In terms of quality, I think that this is a bit better. I mean, this is solely vanilla. This is just vanilla. But this has like a freshly baked cupcake vanilla scent. It's glorious. I mean, it's just glorious. But yeah, this is just vanilla. One of the most beautiful, natural smelling vanilla fragrances out there. I mean, for me, the best vanilla, in my opinion. It's beautiful. You also have some musk in here in the dry down. And then Elborn, it's also fantastic, but it has more things going on. So this, but it's so sensual, so yummy and edible. So here you have lemon, and you have this nuttiness with this very creamy, slightly boozy vanilla. So good, so good. Also, it has a natural smelling feel, in my opinion. Of course, to my nose, it's fantastic. But again, it has more things going on. But yeah, it's very nutty, creamy, a bit citrusy, and the vanilla has a boozy quality that I absolutely love. And then you have Chiota, which is strictly pure vanilla. It's beautiful. It's the highest quality vanilla that you can buy, in my opinion. So in terms of vanilla, these two are fantastic, great alternatives there. I think great options, in better saying, for vanilla. But you have, I mean, so many vanilla fragrances out there. Actually, one vanilla that I really don't like, it was a huge disappointment, was it's from the House of Guerlain, it's Spiritueuse Double Vanille. It has a chewing gum sensation to my nose, weird, but I don't see that has a good vanilla scent. I just don't. But well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was not too long for you. Tell me in the comments down below, what are your favorite notes and what's the fragrance that interprets that note to perfection in your opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic, and see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Ciao.